Blox Fruits is about to change forever. Here's everything we know. What's up everyone and welcome back. If you've been waiting for a massive Blox Fruits update, today's video is probably going to make you even more excited. The developers have finally started revealing what they've been working on, and from everything we've seen so far, this isn't just another small patch with a couple of balance changes. This looks like the beginning of a completely new era for Blox Fruits. For years, players have been asking for more than just new fruits or stronger weapons. Many people wanted better progression, more exploration, gameplay for new players, and a reason to revisit older parts of the map. Based on the latest developer information, it seems that's exactly the direction they're heading. Today, we're going to break down every major feature we've seen so far, explain what these changes could mean for the future of the game. And I'll also share my own predictions about what players should expect once the update finally releases. So if you're excited for the future of Blox Fruits, make sure you stay until the end, because some of these changes could completely change the way everyone plays the game. Let's get started. The biggest headline is without a doubt the complete overhaul of the first sea. For a long time, the first sea has served one purpose: helping new players level up before moving on to the later worlds. While it has always been iconic, it's also one of the oldest parts of the game. Compared to newer areas, many islands feel outdated, both visually and mechanically. Instead of simply improving the graphics, the developers appear to be rebuilding the experience from the ground up. That means redesigned islands, improved layouts, and brand new activities that encourage exploration instead of simply defeating the same NPCs over and over again. This is actually one of the smartest directions the developers could have taken. Every successful RPG eventually reaches a point where new players struggle to enjoy the early game because veteran content receives all the attention. Improving the first few hours of gameplay keeps the game alive by making it easier for new players to stay interested. And that's exactly what this update seems designed to accomplish. One feature I'm especially looking forward to is the new progression system. Right now, most players know exactly how leveling works. Set the quest. Defeat a group of enemies. Return to the quest giver. Repeat. Again. The gun. The gun. Eventually, it becomes more about efficiency than the upcoming update appears to change that by introducing alternative ways to progress through the world. Instead of only grinding NPCs, players may also complete exploration, discover hidden secrets, solve environmental puzzles, and interact with island residents. Makes every island feel more alive. Imagine arriving on a new island and instead of immediately attacking enemies, you're encouraged to investigate mysterious ruins, activate ancient mechanisms, or complete special missions that reveal more about the world. That's much closer to what players expect from a modern adventure game. Another huge improvement is navigation. Anyone who's played Blox Fruits for a while probably remembers getting lost during their first few hours. Finding islands wasn't always obvious, especially for completely new players. Map system changes that. Rather than relying on memory or external guides, players should be able to track their journey more naturally while understanding where they've already been and where they still need to go. It sounds like a simple feature, but quality of life improvements like this often make a bigger difference than people expect. Now let's talk about the island redesigns. The preview images suggest that several classic locations are receiving significant visual improvements. Instead of empty environments with simple buildings, these locations appear much more detailed and atmospheric. Looks like it has expanded into a much larger environment with additional pathways and interior areas. That alone creates opportunities for hidden treasures, side quests. The underwater city also appears dramatically different. Instead of feeling like a small underwater stop, it now looks far more immersive, with improved architecture and environmental detail. If you've been playing Blox Fruits for years, seeing these familiar locations transformed into something fresh is going to be one of the most exciting parts of the update. Of course, visuals are only one piece of the puzzle. Gameplay is what really matters, and that's where things become even more interesting. The developers have confirmed that they're preparing one of the biggest PvP balance updates in the game's history. Whenever players hear the word balance, they usually assume it means increasing or decreasing damage numbers. But according to what we've learned, this update goes much further. Abilities themselves are being adjusted. Animations may become faster. Certain attacks will feel smoother. Hit detection is expected to improve. Some moves will behave differently altogether. That means players won't simply need to memorize new damage values. They'll have to relearn how many fruits, weapons, fighting styles, and combat strategies this could completely shake up the competitive meta. Fruits that haven't been popular for months might suddenly become viable again. Weapons that most players ignored could find a place in high-level PvP. Even experienced bounty hunters may need time to adapt. One example that's already generating discussion involves the developers hinted that summon ghosts will become significantly more useful. Instead of feeling like simple support companions, they'll play a more active role during combat. If that's implemented well, Ghost Fruit could become much more attractive for both PvP and general gameplay. Pain Fruit is another interesting case. Its last stand mechanic appears to be changing in a meaningful way. Rather than functioning exactly as it does today, players may have a greater opportunity to survive if they successfully defeat their opponent during the ability's final moments. Changes like this reward aggressive play instead of simply delaying defeat. That's a much healthier design philosophy. Something else worth mentioning is that these updates don't seem isolated. Instead, they feel connected to a much larger roadmap. Rather than dropping everything at once, the developers appear to be releasing updates in stages. First comes a major balance patch, then additional previews, then trailers. Finally, the massive First C overhaul approach allows developers to collect feedback while keeping excitement high throughout the update cycle. It's also easier to fix unexpected issues before the largest content update arrives. Now let's discuss something that many people overlook: the importance of exploration. Modern games succeed because players constantly discover hidden something new. Secret bosses, optional challenges, rare collectibles, environmental storytelling. If Blox Fruits truly embraces these ideas, the game becomes much more than simply grinding levels. Players start creating their own adventures. Content creators find more interesting speedrunners, develop new casual routes. Players spend more time exploring. Everyone benefits. Personally, I think this could become one of the best changes the game has ever received. Of course, no major update is perfect. There will almost certainly be bugs. Some abilities may become overpowered. Certain weapons could dominate the meta for a short time. That always happens after large balance patches. The important part is how quickly those issues get addressed. Fortunately, recent updates suggest that the developers are becoming more willing to fine-tune balance after release. That's encouraging for the future. And another exciting possibility is how these improvements could influence. If the redesigned First C receives positive feedback, it wouldn't be surprising to eventually see similar upgrades across the Second C and Third C. Imagine every island receiving expanded visual improvements, unique activities, more meaningful NPC interactions, special events. That would dramatically increase the overall quality of the game. Veteran players would finally have reasons to revisit locations they haven't touched in years. Meanwhile, newcomers would enjoy a far richer experience from the moment they start playing. So when should players prepare? While we still have to wait for official releases, it's clear that development is moving toward one of the biggest updates Blox Fruits has ever attempted. Whether you're a competitive PvP player, a casual explorer, someone who enjoys collecting, or simply a fan of Roblox adventures, there's likely going to be something exciting for you. Personally, I'm most interested in seeing how exploration changes the overall pace of progression. If players can advance through puzzles, hidden objectives, and interactive island content instead of endlessly repeating identical quests, the game will feel much more dynamic. That's the kind of evolution Blox Fruits has needed for a long time. So now I want to hear your opinion. Which upcoming feature are you most excited about? Do you think the First C redesign will be the biggest improvement? Are you looking forward to the PvP rebalance? Or are you hoping the developers surprise everyone with completely new mechanics we haven't seen yet? Leave your thoughts in the comments below because I'd love to know what you think. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more Blox Fruits news, update analysis, leaks, and future predictions, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.